Hi, I'm Lara Sky, and today I am joined by the lovely Amanda, the kink consultant.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Let's do some quick fire kink questions.
Let's do it.
What's one thing you would say to somebody who wanted to get into kink?
I'm a safety freak, so I'm like, do a little bit of research, understand what you want to get into, learn about it, and then start to try it slowly. Meet a partner, go to a party, find someone to practice it with that you trust. That's usually the advice I give. Same question to you, though. I'm interested in what you'd say.
I'd say research, to be honest, like work out what they want. I think it's going to be the same whenever you have this kind of conversation. Just go slow, research, kind of know what you want. Be open. Just you might find something that you didn't expect to.
Yeah, be open to what might come in. I'm trying to think if I had unhinged advice, what would it be? Um, The way I discovered it though, I did everything you're not supposed to. I went full force, tried everything, not even because I wanted to, just because I was curious to see like, how does that feel? What does that feel like? Is that going to creep me out? Like there were things, I had hard limits. You couldn't pierce me. That was like one of my, don't make me bleed. But then within, like that was one of the few limits.
I think hard limits is important. But yeah, if I had unhinged kink advice, oh, that's a good one. I think I would be like, just go for it hardcore. Whatever the
Just
most
try it.
are, just throw your keys away. Put a cage on, throw them away. Go to a kink party and blindfold yourself and tie yourself to a spanking bench. Go for like don't know
Like
anyone there. Good, great.
you'll survive. Psychologically, will you be okay? We're not sure. But
Yeah.
with 99% certainty, you'll be okay
You know what?
physically.
Do you think that like kink makes you more intense?
Or are intense people more likely to seek out kink? I think it's the latter.
Yeah.
I don't think kink made me more intense. I think that like I've always been an intense person and I like to test myself. I want
Mm.
to know what I can take.
I'm very interested in that about you. You want a lot because are you like more subby?
I am definitely, I'm like 80% subby, but when you talk to my friends, they swear I'm 50-50 based on how I act. They're like, you're not as submissive as you think you are. I know I like to be in control.
Do you think you need to decide if you're a dom or a sub for kink?
No, good question. I don't think you need to decide. I think that it's a spectrum, a scale, and some days it's almost like, it's kind of like being tired. Some days you wake up more tired than others, and it doesn't always directly reflect how much sleep you've had. Do you think I should decide or you should decide?
I think it's one of the ones that a lot of people feel like they have to be a certain way. So it's good to have that kind of like flexibility.
Yeah, that's actually like PSA, you don't have to be a certain way. You can flex. It can ebb and flow. You don't have to decide. And I know a lot of people do hate on labels of like dom sub specific types, but I like labels because it helps you research more. Like imagine going into the library and just saying I'm looking for a book. Like fuck, give me something, a romance novel, sci-fi, like do something so you can sort of titrate down or figure it out, narrow it down. Or start narrow and go wide, but like you need a starting point.
You need something. I think that's maybe important for kink as well, is when you're investigating it, maybe go with one thing. Like
Yes,
start with one
exactly.
thing, see if you like it, add on.
Yeah. And go with there's going to be something that excites you a little bit more. Like I know I talked about punishment and discipline, but there's going to be an element and like really look into that. Why is that element exciting to you? So you don't need to choose, but labels do help, and I think people need to stop railing against them. Also, I have this theory about kink and how we all practice it. I think it's like religion. Okay, take Christianity. Everyone believes the same God in Jesus. However, there are like 40 denominations of Christianity, and we all act like the other is acceptable but not totally right. We're the only ones who have it totally right.
Mm.
And I think that kink is the same way because I listen to these other creators be like, it's this way. And I'm like, Jesus, yeah, for you, not for me. Like that's not the kink I subscribe to. So that's my other theory on kink and labels. It's like decide what it means for you. But it's at the end of the day, it's sort of like we're all treating it like religion in a way of, oh, my way's the right way. And it's like there are certain fundamentals like safe words, safety, negotiation. And then there are like things that you can be fast and loose with. One of them being like whether or not this is one I really gets me. People being like, a brat can be like, brat doesn't automatically mean sub. It can also be a dom. You can be a bratty dom. And I'm like, yes. And that goes without saying pretty much. Normally, synonymously, brat is a type of sub because they're exerting a different level of power.
Yeah.
Doms are just natural brats. Do you know what I mean? It's like the submissive one is the one who's playing with the power. Brats are already in that position, as
Mhm.
doms are already in that position. I could wax poetic about that.
I think that's an interesting point though, because so many beginners kind of find somebody that tells them how it is and they have a hard time then changing. Or
Yes.
see like two people and they go, which one do I go with? And why can't you give me an answer? But there isn't always an answer.
Yeah. I'm always shocked by the people who get so freaking hardlined in their like they're like, this is the way it is. And I'm like, how do you feel so comfortable and confident getting up and saying that?
Okay, do you think any kink should be banned? You don't need to name a specific one, but do you think something should be like a no?
Okay, but I have this rule. I'm like, as long as it's consensual and between adults, you're good to go.
Mhm.
What about you?
I have a lot of people who kind of hate certain things because they don't personally agree with them. And there's certain kinks that I don't agree with or I don't want to be involved in, but I'm a very big advocate of people should be allowed to do them. So like
Oh,
race play is one
totally.
of these things. Like I don't want to be involved in that, but I'm very for people being able to do it.
110%. I mean, I did one race play scene in the dungeon and I'll never do one again. Like I was so naive as to how what it was and like
Mhm.
never doing it again.
But I think if it's like the sub and they're setting the boundaries, then
Yeah.
it's the same as anything. What do you think about people who are trying to become like kink practitioners? I'm trying to word it carefully.
Like who want to get involved in kink?
For money, but do you think they should be like just go straight into it or they should have like a background in it? Like,
Oh God, as long as they're being safe, I'm fine for them to go straight into it. But like, how do you know you're safe if you haven't experienced things, if you haven't learned things? Um, the judgy part of me is like, no, you need to spend time being ashamed of your desires, scared to do anything. Like, but that was my journey. It doesn't need to be everyone. So I'm not going to dictate whether or not people should or should not um have experience going in. I see the benefit in having the experience, but also, I mean, I've worked in a dungeon. Some subs love an inexperienced dom. That's what they get off on. So let them have it.
yeah, I think sometimes we gatekeep a little bit too hard.
That exactly. And that's what I try and remind myself that. So the whole reason I do what I do is I fucking hate gatekeepers. And I think kink has a lot of gatekeepers. So I was like, I'm gonna go open the gate.
Yeah, open it.
For everyone watching, if you could just comment that you're also enjoying this so we can actually get on our shit and meet up and talk more.
I love how the whip came out there.
Oh, I've been playing with it the whole time. I have one whip up. I have some type of implement in any office room I have. So this is the podcast recording studio. I have a little metal one that's fun to play with in my office. And then downstairs on my in my on my kitchen counter, I have a full-on proper riding crop. I
I love
I
it.
just love something to point with, play with. Yeah, every room has one. Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
What else
this
you got?
a cane. This room has a cane too. Because sometimes I like to point, just,
Yeah. My room has things I can't show on camera, so
yeah, these are just pointers. That's all. All right. Thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun.
I'm sure we'll have you back. So maybe the people can comment what they would like us to talk about next time.
I would love that.
Find
All right.
out. Right.
Bye.